beautiful boy.
Hey, good morning,
Look at that beautiful boy.
Hello
look at
there.
him. Just look at his face. It's so beautiful and look at it. Just touch it.
Well,
You wanna
don't now. You're
That
making
is
it
not
weird.
practicing safe social distancing.
You're making it weird now.
I did. And to be clear, I didn't actually touch him. It was just
Yeah. I see you're not wearing an undershirt today.
Oh, no, I wanted to breathe. I wanted to breathe.
Does that mean if people tip a certain amount, they'll see something?
No, we're not doing that. But look, I did watch all of Tiger King with the audience over the weekend.
Can we please talk about that show for a hot minute?
And after watching with the audience, I'm like, I got to up my wardrobe. Like, my wardrobe is not there yet.
So when are you getting the haircut? That's the important part.
Oh, well, give me how much longer are we in like isolation here? At least till the end of April.
Until Thanksgiving.
If we hit June, I might be good to go.
I already cut my hair.
Yeah?
I did that the first week. I think a lot of people have been taking scissors to their own head.
Yeah,
Yo,
I've been debating how much I want to let my hair grow out
I'm gonna call it right now. If we hit our daily goal every day
for the next 3 months.
for the next 3 months, however long this beautiful mane is,
you will just become the Tiger King.
I'll mullet it.
Oh my god!
I don't give a fuck.
If we double it, I'll join you.
Yeah, you know that's not gonna happen. You know that's not gonna happen.
You know, I think people might not tip because they don't want to see that.
Yeah, that's what we thought about cats, and look what happened.
Yeah, look
Meow.
what happened. Welcome, everyone, to
Hello.
week 3 of Camp Social Distance here at Hyper RPG.
Welcome.
Welcome
Yeah,
to week
baby.
3.
Guys, we made it. The third week. We're still here.
Week
It's still
3.
happening. And we just got an update. When was it? It was this morning, wasn't it? Or was it yesterday? That we're going to be in permanent social distance until April 30th.
April 30th. That was
Yeah.
last night's.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm actually glad they announced that, considering
Bless
that's
you.
like at a federal level, and the first one was April
Yeah.
15th, and it was like, shit, this hadn't even hit some places
Yeah,
yet.
I know.
So I'm kind of glad.
I've been
for
talking
that
with a lot of
announcement.
friends here and in San Diego. I have a lot of friends in San Diego who work in the medical industry, and a lot of them have been saying, like, you know, we haven't even peaked yet.
Yep.
And
Not
that's
even
the
close.
scary thing. I think a lot of people are like, oh, this is going to be over soon. I'm like, y'all, we have not even started yet.
So we're gonna start off right today by saying, wash your damn hands.
Yeah. And
Wash your damn
and if
hands.
it's me,
Wash
it's
your
wash
damn
your
hands.
goddamn hands.
Wash your damn hands,
Wash
everybody.
your damn hands.
Everybody should practice safe washing.
This is the
Safe
most
washing versus dangerous washing.
Yeah,
It can
not too
happen.
hot. Not too
It
hot.
can happen.
You know how much lotion I've used? I'm one of those people who's never ever moisturized their hands, and now every morning I'm like, all right, I try to like not get on the palms of my hand because I hate the feeling of lotion.
I got
but
some tricks for that.
Yeah.
Most moisturizers lock in moisture. So like if your hands are moist, like right out of the shower, that's when you want to moisturize.
That's when I do
to
it.
lock in the moisture.
But I do
Yeah.
it this way, so it doesn't touch my palm side, because I don't like lotion on my hands. It's weird.
Okay. I don't fuck with any of what you guys are talking about.
No, that's not
That explains
true.
everything.
I moisturize you.
What? How am I unaware of you moisturizing me?
She does it in your sleep. You just don't know.
Oh, this got weird real quick. So thank you, everybody, for joining us today here at Hyper RPG. We're going to be talking to a good friend of mine today on the show in a little bit, Gorsinio Hall. Real good friend. Used to live out here in LA, but he's living in New York right now, so I kind of wanted to check in, see how the music industry's doing out there, and the scene, and how he's doing in New York and all that stuff.
Sure.
But I know we have a couple other quick things about what we got going on today.
Yeah. Well,
So
you already
what's
saw
today?
Lucas. You got to spend some time with Cookie Eubank, baby boy, who we miss very, very much. After this, we're doing survival skills. Malika's going to be cooking some old family recipe, perhaps.
Some old family recipe, some Polish stuff.
Some Polish stuff.
We're going to share some stories from my Polish grandma. Yes, I have 3 grandmas.
Nice.
I will
nice.
explain it later.
Okay.
There's a brand new setup in the kitchen. It looks ridiculous. I'm terrified to go in there and cook
4
anything.
cameras.
Yeah,
4
I'm terrified to go in there
cameras.
and cook anything, to be honest with you. Then
I saw you so carefully.
I was just like, all right, I'm just going to tiptoe around the kitchen.
Yeah.
Be very careful. At 4, we're doing board games. Zach and I are going to be playing Death Wish. Malik, are you joining us for that?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. That'll be very, very fun. And then we're going to be doing...
I don't know if that's close enough.
Look.
Let's get even closer.
Jesus. That's going to become really awkward throughout this week, isn't
What's
it?
going to become really awkward?
Nothing.
What's gonna
Then
be-
at 6 o'clock, we're doing a watch-along
gonna
of
become really
Tremors.
What's gonna
Just
become
that.
really awkward?
Everything that's happening
What?
right
What?
there.
What about this?
Oh, God. Yep, I knew that was coming. Zach complains he has no time on his hands, yet he has too much time on his hands. Give him something to do, please.
Yeah.
Malika did.
I'm not bored at all.
Oh, my God.
You guys are trapped in here with me.
I hate all of this.
Yeah, what else is going on?
You have too much tech time on your hands. Then at 6 o'clock, we're doing a watch-along of Death Stranding. My God. Thank you. We're doing a watch-along of Tremors at 6 p.m. That is streaming on Netflix for anybody who wants to join us here in the United States. I'm not sure where it's streaming internationally, but I'm sure if you look on Fandango or Amazon, it'll be somewhere. It will be a lot of fun. I haven't seen that movie in quite some time, and a little Kevin Bacon in your life is never a bad thing.
Truth, I don't know what movie you're talking about.
Woo! Tremors is so good.
I could have swore I've watched Tremors with you.
What is this movie?
Actually, I feel like I put it on one time and you just started doing chores and just
I saw that there was
tuned
a
out.
logo. There was teeth. Is teeth involved?
Remember Kevin Bacon movie where you can't step on the ground because the monsters come out of the ground
These
and
like
eat ya?
nasty like worms with giant worm-looking creatures with big.
It's super redneck. I could have
No.
swore we started it one day and you commented on how, oh, these are your people, and then started doing chores or some shit.
I mean, somebody got to do them chores.
Okay,
Sick.
great.
Sick.
So yeah, I wanted to check in with my friend Jordan Gorsinio Hall out there in New York. Hey, buddy, how you doing, man? How's life out in the grand old East Coast?
Hello. What's up, everybody?
Hi.
Zach, you gotta moisturize, man.
No. We don't have to. Nah.
I started like 2 years ago. We are dudes. We don't think that like lotion is like a thing we need to be fucking around with. Can I cuss? Sorry.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, totally.
It's fine. It's very much
Okay.
okay.
All right. I didn't know. I was like, Tremors is a PG-13 movie. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, man. I don't. It's I live in New York. I have this is like week 4 of being inside my house for me.
Oh wow.
So I've already done this for a month. I'm lucky enough to have an apartment pretty much to myself. I have a little backyard, so yeah, I'm just doing like DDP yoga in my living room, and then I go outside and play fetch with the dog, and that's like my outside. I have not been on the streets for like I think my last grocery run was like 2 weeks ago. So
Now,
yeah, man, it's nuts. There's hospital boats. There's the Javits Center is a makeshift hospital now.
So you are a host of a show called 2 Minutes to Late Night with your persona Gorsinio Hall, which you guys work a lot with some awesome metal bands and playing around New York and stuff like that. What's the general consensus within your community of what this is going to do to the live scene out there?
Well, I mean, there isn't a live scene anymore. Like every show has been canceled. I've had all of my shows canceled. I've had most bands have canceled their tours up until June. I know that my friends in a band called they're like a super group called Old Man Gloom. They have like a Euro tour that's up in the air because it's June. I know that a lot of bands and musicians are trying to book shows or to like rebook shows for June and July, but it's nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, because I think this whole situation has made it very clear how big social bubbles are, I think, because there are people like me who have been taken this seriously for like a month.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are those who have for some people last week was their first week
Right.
social distancing, and there's still like when people go to the grocery store, they're still shocked at how many people are outside because we can't I remember my last day running the final errands 2 weeks ago. There were people just shirtless in the park
Yeah.
having picnics. as I walked by. It was pretty alarming. I think, we're at the point where, also everybody has known someone who has it or has gone through it.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to know that there are people who have had it out here and who have done fine.
Right.
So that's assuring, but it's still like, I hope everybody's still, gonna keep the people can get reinfected. They gotta, everybody's just gotta really keep on this stuff. Hopefully eventually the streets do look pretty empty when people have to make the necessary leave.
So I know you told me that you've kind of dove right back deep into music because you've had to socialize. So you just had a new band come out recently too, right?
Yeah, we had we've stopped we had to cancel our record release show, and we're like gonna hold back the EP for right now. And there's just there was a lot of questions about what our next steps were going to be even before the pandemic. So we're assessing. I know that in the music industry, I think is one of the arts that can actually find different ways to thrive in this time. I know that everyone has been like, all right, well, I'm inside for the foreseeable future. We're going to get to writing some albums. I know that my show, 2 Minutes to Late Night, one of the big things on our show, if you haven't seen the show, it's just like, it's basically Conan O'Brien at Ozfest.
Okay.
It's a talk show. It is very much exactly the style of a late night talk show with Conan style gags. We talk to all kinds of musicians, but kind of the big thing we do is at the end of the episode, we do a big cover song with our guest. We take just some song that's either has like no business in the metal world, and we try to like morph it and make it fit in our style. And what we're doing now is, because so many musicians are home and everyone has a home studio, we're just doing remote covers where we're just going to have everybody record their part to the cover at their home, and then we release it as one big silly music video. And it's been a ton of fun, and we're just and if that's what we're doing, I can only imagine that I know people who are, really getting time to write their next albums, like getting the proper amount of time. So we're going to see, hopefully, a lot of creativity coming out of the music scene, and people are being very supportive. Where they're buying merch to support bands. Like, there's a lot that you can do to help your friends in the music industry right now. And they're going to find ways to get music to you. They're going to be doing new stuff. I know that there are artists who, have had their tours canceled that just, they just then go make a song with the frustration of the tour cancellation. And it's been really cool. I think, in my scene, I'm a little worried about, the artists that don't really have a lot of the outlets, like tattoo shops out here are struggling.
Right.
They're like, they can't touch the whole thing with the tattoos. You touch another person forever.
Yeah, I know. I have a couple friends that do massage therapy for work, and LA is really big on a lot of, yoga, massage therapy, things like that.
Like martial arts gyms,
gyms,
parkour gym, stuff like that.
All those. Yeah. What are they gonna do?
Yeah. I know, I have friends who are wrestlers, and their career it's like they're just really trying to figure out what to do. Like, the good thing, I guess, if you're any kind of public figure, you always have the option of merch, which is great. Like that, there's ways to help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, we're going to run through some topics. If you want to join us, feel free to hop in.
I'd love it.
And give your input, insights. If you have any thoughts, Adam's got some prepared.
Just prepared, Zach.
Prepared?
Welcome to the English language.
Pre-prepared.
Yeah.
I like pre-prepared, though, because you prepared it ahead of time.
I pre'd it,
You
and then I prepared it.
Pre-prepared.
You know, some people have the gift of inventing new words all the time, and I think you might have that gift.
I think pre-prepared is that kind of means you're a medium, right?
Yeah.
Predict the prediction.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool,
You're in
cool.
tune.
Digging it.
Yeah,
digging
you're in
it,
tune.
Digging it. You're welcome.
With
Yeah.
the magic that is the Force.
That's right. Yep, the magic that is the Force.
That's what new people who want to have to be like, I'm a psychic, they can rebrand it so it doesn't have the stigma of saying I'm a psychic. Oh
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I'm a
I'm a Jedi.
pre-preparer.
A pre-prepare. Right.
I pre-prepare. It's totally different.
It's like a secular, non-mystical version of a fortune teller.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, hit us, Adam.
We should
What do you
also
got?
run through the stuff that we're going to be watching this week.
Yeah.
We're going to be watching some fun stuff, some really fun stuff. So tonight I mentioned we're doing Tremors. Tomorrow we're doing Complex. Do you want to briefly explain what that is?
Well, it's an FMV game.
Yeah.
You know, we played the game Bunker on our channel
I
4
played
years ago.
the game, The Bunker. Yeah.
And it was amazing. It was
Yeah.
phenomenal. And they have a new game coming out with the lead actress from Letterkenny, who
Michelle Milet.
and it looks really good. It's like a
Yeah.
sci-fi horror, and we're going to be doing that tomorrow. I'm excited to do that with you to get your kind of filmmaker's perspective on it. But I think we're also going to try to set up the heat mapping so the audience can help us choose what direction we take in the game.
Basically, it's an interactive movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I think is going to be really, really fun.
It's
Should be a fun
beautifully
thing to
shot,
experience.
yeah.
For sure. Then on Wednesday, and I didn't find this out till this morning, it's the 30th anniversary of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the movie.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing watch along with that on Wednesday night, which I'm very excited for. I love that movie.
What better
so
way to
goddamn
show
much.
some respect for New York than
Right?
than doing a TMNT watch along?
Yeah.
I love that movie
Dude,
so incredibly much.
That movie is so weirdly perfect, especially
It
for
like
when
doesn't deserve to be that good for the time that it was made in.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, hold on. How did this be this good and have all the things that I like? It's a comic book cartoon adaptation, and it has puppets, and they're big.
And there's
what? And
pizza.
there's karate and pizza. What?
It's almost too perfect.
Yeah.
Then
Also, and like Jason from Friday the 13th, but he's also a Sopranos character. It's awesome. Love it.
Then on Thursday, we're going to continue our adventure through Cowboy Bebop. We got through the first, I think, 9 episodes, right?
9 episodes last
So
week.
we'll probably do the next 9 after that.
We'll see how we're
And
feeling.
we'll be dead by the end of it.
We'll see how we're feeling.
And then on Friday, we're going to be doing Inception, which I've actually haven't seen in a couple years, so I'm actually excited to revisit
I haven't
that
either.
movie.
I was really mixed on it the first time I saw it
Yeah.
in theater, but I think, and I haven't seen it since I saw it in theater.
Wow, so that's a 10-year-old movie now.
Yeah. And I was kind of mixed on it because I think just the ending soured me a little bit. So I might have a completely new appreciation for it now,
Interesting. That'll be
knowing
fun.
that, whatever with the ending.
Yeah, that'll be very, very fun. And you might have noticed there's a new overlay happening
Yeah. Ding,
here.
ding, ding, ding.
Throughout the day, you'll be able to tip towards 3 movie choices that we have that will be for next Monday's viewing. So instead of us just telling you what movie we're going to watch, you are going to help us decide what movie we're going to watch as a group.
So you don't actually see that
Make them
part
watch
of it.
something so boring.
Well, they get to
like,
choose.
They get to choose between 3 movies.
If they pick something boring, then we have to sit through it.
Yeah,
And they
that's right.
often will do that to us. It'll be
Just
torture
to
for
troll
us.
So we got
Like, is it like a good superhero movie and then like a bad like is it usually like Avengers or Batman versus Superman? You should throw in like a swing vote
Yeah.
in the middle. Like
You're on the right track there.
So I think,
Yeah.
and you guys can't see it in the audience yet. We had a PC work up a new overlay for us tonight. So when we're doing our watch along tonight, you're going to
Yeah.
see hashtags on the bottom of the screen with a percentage goal, and you can be tipping to influence what we watch next Monday.
Monday,
and then
yeah.
like tomorrow, you'll be able to
Next
for the
Tuesday,
next Tuesday,
and so on and so forth.
So I think tonight you're going to be voting between Cloverfield,
The Evil Dead.
The Evil Dead.
And Final Destination.
Final Destination.
What?
You get to choose between one of those three.
They're all so much fun.
They're all really great.
Yeah, they're great.
God
They're
damn it,
really
it better
good.
be fun. I don't want to go through Cats again, please, for the love of God.
Yeah, we're not going to do Cats again. Fuck
Help
that.
me.
Fuck everything about that. You would like Cats, wouldn't you, Jordan?
Oh yeah, no, I saw it. I saw it. It was
In IMAX.
In theaters. It was a nightmare, but also based on everything that I saw, I was screaming like I need Jesus. In the theater, I screamed "ew!" I think more than any other movie ever. But because of that, I'm like, this might be the best movie ever made.
Oh, I can't. We tried getting through it, and it was one of the most excruciating things.
Oh, God, it hurt so bad.
It hurt really bad.
It hurt everywhere.
So, yeah.
I do want the audience to like give you some like really obscure movies.
We'll
like,
get there.
Like audience, make them like vote to watch like The Muse, the Albert Brooks movie.
Okay.
Just something really. What even is this movie?
Oh my God, this will be the most painful social distancing I've ever had to do.
I know.
Yeah, get him.
I'm sure you all would love to watch The Room.
Oh, I would love to.
I
do
would love
The
to
Room.
watch
Yeah,
that.
would
I'm
be
fine
great.
with that. I'll watch.
Yeah.
Just please don't make me watch something like, I don't know, Rocky Horror Picture Show or something. I can't stand that movie.
Those are so close
You
together.
should vote between The Room and Room.
That's right.
The Room and Room. Yeah.
And just not tell
definitely.
people. Like, yeah, okay, we'll decide. We'll decide.
Yeah.
Do we also want to mention that we're still doing our Clubhouse memberships this week?
We
and,
are,
and
yeah.
it is Lucas's turn.
Yeah.
So, for those that don't know, last week, every time we hit one of our goals throughout
Yeah.
the day, you got invited. We pulled a winner, and the random winner would get pulled into a private Discord room and to my private Clubhouse. And throughout the week, we chatted and talked about what we were going to do over the weekend. And then as a group, we all watched Tiger King together on Saturday using Netflix Party. And it was fun.
Did you watch the entire season?
The whole season. We
How many
watched it all the way
episodes was
through.
that?
6 or 8. I can't remember if it was 6 or 8.
Wow, so it
I
was
think
a
it was
full
8,
8-hour
I think,
day for
yeah.
you.
It was a full day, but it was fun.
Can you tell us
if
about that
not
show, please?
traumatic. I mean, it's fucked up.
That's
it's
what I hear.
fucked up.
I thought it was like a comedy parody show. And then I found out
no.
it's like,
No,
not that at all.
But the whole time I was watching it, I imagined it as a Christopher Guest mockumentary.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
It just, the characters
That
are
contextualizes a lot.
out of this fucking world,
Yeah.
man. They are out of this world.
There was an interesting article on Variety that I was going to pull up, but it actually gives you information about where the characters are now. So I didn't want to do it because I haven't watched it yet, so I don't really want to spoil it for myself.
Right.
But I'm very
Well, you
interested to
find
watch
out
the
pretty
show.
quickly. I mean, the last shots were taking place just a couple months ago.
Wow.
So, one's in jail.
Yeah.
Like they tell you that right at the beginning
Yeah,
of
the
the show.
first episode. Yep.
And you're just what I thought was the craziest thing about the show is they tell you so much in the first 5 minutes. You're like, all right, we're going on this ride. But then somehow each episode escalates like even crazier than what they told you at the beginning. Like at the beginning, you're like, this person's in jail because he hired a hit on this other person who's a competing exotic cat owner. And you're like, oh, fuck, this is crazy. But then there's it gets nuts.
Yeah.
It
So
just
many
keeps
twists and
escalating.
turns,
It just keeps escalating in a way that you're just, oh man.
I haven't watched it yet. But I was in from the haircuts.
Yes.
I just saw the haircuts. I was like, I don't know what this is, but yes.
Yep.
And then I found out like a few days ago that it's like about murder, and I was like, what?
That was my reaction. I was like, what the hell is this show?
Let's keep going.
It's pretty wild.
I mean,
Yeah.
as a person from Florida, it makes a lot of sense to me. You
Oh,
know?
it's in Florida.
Parts
Well,
of it.
parts of it.
Oklahoma, Florida, South Carolina.
But
Let's be real. It's mostly Florida.
It is mostly
yeah, it
about.
is. Well, also the guy from Oklahoma got his big cat addiction when he was in Florida.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's how it happened.
Yeah, but we did that. That was our private Clubhouse, and we watched that together with the chat. This week, if you are one of our daily winners, you get to be added to Lucas's Clubhouse, Little Cookies Clubhouse.
Yeah. Is that what it's called?
The Cookie House.
Is that what it's called?
No, I don't know.
It should be.
It should be.
Is he just gonna come out as like a Keebler elf?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Corker.
You better be eating cookies.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
People are gonna be pissed.
Yeah, they will be pissed. So if you win, you can be added to that, and you will chat with Lucas throughout the week and decide what you will do over the weekend.
Yeah.
So I know last week we said we had to change some ways. Some incentives work this week as well. We still really appreciate your support. We have to stop allowing you to control our Alexa to play music because copyright issues.
Yeah.
But we're probably going to do some stuff today where you could tell our Alexa to do other stuff. And as usual, we're going to add back in every new subscriber. And if you want it, you can tip $5 to get your name on our brick wall.
Yay.
And we've got a camera set up
We
over
got
there.
some empty bricks that need to
Some
be
empty
filled.
bricks. We would really appreciate you guys' support. But Adam, I know you got some other stuff, so I'll get off the support train.
Just a quick update. This isn't really something that we're going to dive into because it's really nothing worth diving into. But they did officially announce the Summer Games are going to be moved to next year. They're going to be held from July 23rd, 2021 to August 8th, 2021. And the Paralympic Games will run from August 24th to September 5th, 2021. So officially, we already knew that those Olympic Games were going to be postponed, and just like we suspected, instead of doing it later in the year, which kind of makes it impossible for a summer game, it made the most sense to move it to the following year. But they did not say whether or not that was going to affect the Winter Games that would technically come out the year after instead of 2 years after. But I imagine once all these places, all these venues, and all these cities are booked, you kind of have to move forward.
I think they're kind of locked in because these cities will build like completely new infrastructures to support the Olympic Games. Yeah,
exactly. So that was that. Kind of a short, small little update, but I think people just appreciate having some form
Wait,
of an
with
update.
the Olympics, is Kazuchika Okada still doing the torch? Do they know that?
Excellent question.
I know
don't
they started lighting the torch, and then I think they stopped.
I'm sure they had to stop at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, because they did light the first, like, whatever you call it, the pyre, and I was like, wait, are we still doing this? Is this okay? And it was kind of sad because usually they were going to have like a bunch of like school children and they couldn't be there, and it was a very quiet like ceremony. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they should get a do-over. Also, Lil Kazu is one of my favorite wrestlers. He deserves his moment.
Right.
They all do. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Something that I thought was very, very fun that happened yesterday. John Krasinski launched a new YouTube channel, and it is called Some Good News. And it seems like the most heartfelt, uplifting thing that we need right now. He started out by making an announcement video that he was going to be doing this, and then he actually went on Twitter and he asked his followers, "Hey, we need some good news in the world. Send me your favorite stories." And then people were just bombarding him with tweets. There was a young girl who recently completed her final session of chemo. There was a really nice video that went along with that, where she was driving down her street and all of her neighbors came out to like really cheer her on and stuff. So it's a really fun 20-minute video. And he caps it off by interviewing Steve Carell because the 15th anniversary of The Office just happened recently. And we talk about, how are artists finding ways to kind of stay creative and to get through social distancing and things that they can do at home. And I think like this, among a lot of other things that are happening, is a perfect example of being creative with very limited assets. And I know a lot of that probably was influenced by, seeing late night hosts like Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon.
All these late night hosts
coming
for our jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
They're famous and doing like shit
doing
job
cell
at live
videos.
streaming out of their houses.
Yeah. I will say John Krasinski's intro for that show alone is very, very fun. You can tell
the show is fun.
Yeah, his kids like made a nice sign. He's got some really fun transitions and stuff. So kudos to him for trying to be creative. But do you guys think that this will be? Is this going to be the new hot trend that we're going to start seeing a lot of celebrities doing?
Yeah.
Or do you think that every celebrity is going to kind of add their own creative spin to everything?
I mean, yes and no, because I think there's a lot of egos in entertainment, and you still want that prestige of, I mean, we've all worked with talents. They get their special treatment, and I think a lot of them are waiting for that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be picked up a lot because if you don't have movies coming out, if you don't have press conference, stuff like that, like and you have that,
you got to stay relevant somehow.
You got to stay relevant, and I'm sure publicists are encouraging people like do something.
Yeah.
Well, they want to keep and work too,
Of course,
So do something, get some press out there.
I mean, The Rock did an Instagram live, I believe it was day before yesterday, and he had like 145,000 viewers, and it was just a Q&A session.
But he's one of those social media celebs.
Sure.
Yeah,
right?
But he
He's a
does them a
social
lot
media
more
celeb.
often now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously because he's got more time.
Who do you think is going to crawl out from behind the curtain and start being more of a front face in this kind of era? Any predictions? Like, who are some talent that maybe never really communicate on social media that might be like, oh, shit, I'm going crazy?
I mean, I think that's really going to.
I mean, Steve Martin's already with the banjo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
true. Yeah.
He coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Steve Martin's never really had a presence on social media at
No.
all.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's a really good question. I mean, I think if you do have something that's coming out or something that you're very well known from, like if you're somebody from a big Marvel franchise, do you necessarily need it? If you're already active on social media and you already get a lot of audience retention and engagement, do you really feel the obligation to do more? You know, maybe not. But I think when someone like this comes out and does something fun and creative and focuses, instead of focusing on, there is a lot of negativity out there and there's a lot of stuff that maybe like people focus on already outside of what people talk about on social media.
It's going to feel like 10 years ago on YouTube again.
Yeah.
Because this is kind of like 10 years ago
Grassroots.
when YouTube just kind of like first hit.
Yeah.
It was usually that kind of content that blew up the most. It wasn't this
Yeah.
kind of like YouTube from 14 years old up star.
Yeah.
It was celebrities doing these like weird off-ball videos and comedy skits and stuff like that. I wonder if that will make a resurgence.
Yeah, and I think that's something that could like kind of reinvigorate the platform, because I think we've become so dependent on like viral hits. I think that like homegrown sort of like home stew version of a video is something that like people might really be looking forward to right now.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think more than like I think it's going to be cool to see who does something new with the platform. And I think it's mostly we're going to take notice of like who's really trying to be creative and who's really trying to do it for the good of like other people. Like I haven't seen the John Krasinski thing, but I think it sounds like it's got its like heart in the right place.
Oh yeah.
I also think, you know, like articles like when like Britney Spears calling for like the redistribution of wealth, like that's going to get people excited. I think people who actually are going to use their platform to be creative and actually do something like with 2 Minutes to Late Night, I also have like a day job and I have the luxury of being able to work from home. So I'm getting income. So everything that our Patreon, if you look at it right now, the 2 Minutes to Late Night Patreon, all the funds go directly to artists that are performing on the show. Like they, based on how much money we have, we're going to distribute like it appropriately to each artist because they need the money right now. And I think we're going to see more people doing stuff like that to help industries. I know that during the day I produce content at Thrillist.com.
Oh, Thrillist?
Nice. Yeah, it's a food and travel website, and we're, you know, trying to build a lot of content that's going to help our restaurant scene and just people who we love, because that's, you know, that's we benefit on them succeeding when people are allowed to go outside.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're gonna see I think we are gonna see some people pop up, but I think it's going to be cool to see who's doing it to really benefit people, because people, I think, hopefully are going to get a little bit kinder.
Yeah.
I was hoping
you see through it really quick too. Like I think it's easy to see through right now if people are doing it out of kindness or doing it for attention.
The Imagine video being
yeah, very tone deaf.
I've been I would like to see. I think. Like I've been based on like the times I've just needed something fun to watch. I've been like mainly watching like The Muppet Show and the Muppet movies.
Yeah.
I have like a little Twitter game going on like about the Muppet Show, but I think like, you know, like the Muppets could do great stuff with this type of like platform. Like even in your studio that you have right now, like people can just hide under the table and do puppet stuff.
We have experience with puppets. This isn't our first rodeo.
Cool. But yeah, I think animation and puppetry. Let's see it take over. That's what I want. Cartoons and puppets.
Yeah, there you go.
Over the space.
Speaking of which, we're going to jump topics a little bit here, but I thought this was actually very, very cool. Nickelodeon is going to host a COVID-19 town hall, which will be hosted by Kristen Bell. They're swapping out their canceled Kids' Choice Awards, which were originally supposed to air yesterday, actually, and they're going to be replacing it with a special called Kids Together, the Nickelodeon Town Hall, which will give kids a little bit more perspective and a kid's eye view of life today amid COVID-19, which I think is really, really cool. It says the hour-long special will directly address kids' questions and concerns, including tips and insights from medical experts on ways to be healthy, and give first-person accounts to kids and from kids and families around the country who are social distancing and making changes to their everyday lives and relationships. I think a lot of times we tend to sometimes forget that there are kids who are in a certain demographic that are not active on social media and are not active on a lot of the platforms that we are. And to them, I think it's good to have something that they can look to that will give them information and explain to them exactly what's going on and why they can't experience life in the way that they normally are used to. So I think this is a great thing, and I would like to see more of this type of stuff happening as well. And they've got a lot of really cool people that are going to be a part of it. Charlie D'Amelio, who's a huge TikTok star, Josh Gad, Kel Mitchell, Keenan Thompson.
And they're all just
Russell Wilson.
Skyping in?
They're all Skyping in. It's all being done remotely, which I think is really, really cool. And it's airing tonight at 7 p.m. on Nickelodeon. So I think that's a really cool thing. If you know of any kids who definitely need to stay informed, or parents who are looking for some way to inform their kids on what's happening and they may not necessarily have the best approach on how to do that, then I think this could potentially be a really good resource for them.
Cool.
Yeah.
I have a little group of headlines from the gaming kind of arena. GameStop to close at least 320 stores in 2020. It was already kind of on a kind of downward slope, but this pandemic is, I think, maybe the nail in the coffin. Yeah. So thinking about also...
I feel like they've been very mismanaged. And I hate thinking that they're using this situation to validate what was already happening. I mean, just seeing how they refuse to close their stores. Yeah. There's they've been so bad at handling their talking to the media and the rest of the world during all this, by at first refusing to close their stores and then acting like, well, whatever, we have to keep them open. And then after all the public outcry saying we will, and then just a week after that public outcry putting out this kind of press release, feels almost like, well, you told us to close our stores. This is on you.
Yeah. Well, last year they closed 320 stores, and this year they're planning to close another 321 stores. So it's just downward slope for them. But I think it's just very interesting because I think culturally we were talking about when you grow up in a small town, GameStop is the only source of game culture.
You say small
news.
Town. You're talking about a medium to big size town.
All right.
There's no GameStops in small towns.
Sure. But even when I grew up, it was renting video games from Blockbuster, trying to read the guides at Best Buy, hanging around Radio Shack, which totally doesn't exist anymore, and then getting games and trading them at GameStop. I feel like still for many parts of the country, GameStop is the physical embodiment of gamer culture, and most of that has moved to online and online stores. And it's just interesting to see this giant just kind of crumbling before us, in my opinion. Also, there's this cute little article on Gama Sutra, and it's called "Players Host Weddings, Classes, and More in Online Games During COVID-19 Crisis." So I think that's really cute. I was thinking maybe that would be fun.
You're seeing probably a lot of virtual
Animal Crossing weddings.
Animal Crossing and Guild Wars and World of Warcraft. I mean, of course people are we're doing watch-alongs with a virtual chat. Of course people are hopping into RPGs. And
well, I'm in a lot of wedding blog and wedding Facebook groups and stuff like that. And I'm still trying to sell my dress. But planning a wedding is so expensive. Imagine, this is your special day and you save $10,000-$20,000 or more dollars for this special day, and you have to cancel it because of this pandemic. That urge to have that sense of grandeur back, you know, is, I mean, it's really rough. And like, even before things were closed down, there was a lot of tension between brides who wanted to continue with their wedding and like all their family members who did not. So just kind of thinking about how we're using video games to kind of create a sense of social closeness when we are socially isolating, right? Or socially distancing. Also, there is a really cool fund out now. Earlier this year, the Game Developers Conference, which is kind of like the Academy Awards for game developers, that was canceled, and now there is a fund to support indie game developers who lost a lot of money investing into perhaps coming out to the conference, and then it immediately just canceling, and small studios also losing tens of thousands of dollars betting on using this event to market their video game, completely losing that. So now there's a fund for that as well.
I am curious, though, to go back to people diving into games for social connection. Chat room, let us know, are there any games outside of Animal Crossing that you've kind of dived into to help fill that void? Anything that you are currently playing or reconnecting with old friends as a way to try to get closer to people that you haven't seen or talked to in a while?
And then also there was a fantastic article written by another female game developer, and I don't have her name because I can't find that article, so somebody tweeted at me. But she was saying, game developers, we need you more than ever right now, because unlike movies and books, games are the only thing that give the player a big sense of agency in a world that is out of control. Like, games give you a sense of control. So a lot of people are saying Animal Crossing and Sims are seeing this kind of renaissance and resurgence because you get to be God in that world and you get to control everything, and everything is fine. I mean, last night I picked peaches and coconuts off of my island. It was great.
And I played a game about, while you were playing that, I was playing a game about suffocating out in space. It's so true, like how different we handle these things.
Yeah.
I got a video game system for I think the first time since, like, I bought a PS4 like 3 weeks ago because I was like, I guess now's a good time to probably get back into. I haven't had time to properly play video games, I think, since college, and now I have a PS4. I'm considering, trying to connect with my brother. He loves this game called Guild Wars. I've never played it. I don't think I've ever heard of it, but I'm considering just. I don't know what other people think of it, but I'm just considering getting it just so I can hang out with my brother and escape the booger tornado for a couple hours.
Right. Speaking of games, yesterday I played the beta of the new Predator Fireteam game. And it was a free beta release, played with some chat room members and Matt Sohinki over at Smosh Games, and it was a lot of fun. You could play as the Predator or a group of Fireteam members going into the jungle you have your own mission objectives, and the Predator can hunt them down and kind of stop them from completing their objectives. I thought there was a lot of interesting elements to it for an asymmetrical shooting game. You're playing first-person shooter when you're Fireteam. When you're Predator, it's third-person, and you're like doing parkour and going invisible and tracking their footsteps. But to make it more interesting than some of the other ones, say you kill the Predator, you then have to protect its body from all of the drug lords in the area who are trying to steal it. Yeah. And you have to protect it to get it back to the United States military for research and stuff. So it kept the objectives really fun. But my absolute favorite part of the game was the soundtrack was the same soundtrack as the movie. So as you're the Predator and the soundtrack is going, you're like, oh, I feel fucking awesome.
It was Silvestri, really cool. Baby.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I would really like to dive into more games. The only thing that I've been playing, and this is just because it's a fun social game, is Jackbox games. But it's for birthday parties and hang out with my friends. I really wish that there were some old school titles that were remastered. We have Crash Bandicoot, which I love, But man, I would kill to play some Tony Hawk Pro Skater or some Twisted Metal right now.
Oh my God!
See?
Yeah.
See?
Twisted Metal Black.
Oh man! Oh
Twisted
my
Metal.
God!
Yeah. That's what I want. I want Rob Zombie, and I want to crash a car.
Speaking about getting back into games and buying a console, I had a friend tell me over the phone that he wanted to get a Nintendo Switch to play Animal Crossing with everybody else, but it's too hard to find them, and now they're like over $500 on eBay.
What?
So I wonder if in the chat room you have experienced similar things where you wanted to buy a physical gaming console and you couldn't.
It's going to be extra tough right now.
Yeah, it's going to be extra tough right now. But I
Yeah.
want to know if anybody else has kind of experienced that. Yeah.
I mean, you're not supposed to be going out to buy stuff.
Yeah.
Amazon workers are declaring a strike today in New York City. So is Instacart.
Yeah.
And they're calling on more Amazon factories to strike throughout the week. And I think this is only the beginning of
If I have to go to Ralph's to get groceries, I'm wrapping myself in bubble wrap.
You might have to, man.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I was also considering getting like a Switch because everyone I know has one, but it was really hard to. This was even 3 weeks ago. It was hard.
Yeah.
To even find one that was available. The only ones that were available were like the super expensive, like special edition ones that look.
It's just a sticker
look
on
like
there.
Carrie from Sex and the City. Whatever.
All right, Adam, what else you got?
So Disney announced that some of their top-tier executives are going to be taking some big salary cuts while dealing with this pandemic, and they also did agree that they're going to be
Not just to cut. Bob Iger's like,
Bob
don't
Iger
pay me.
completely like forgoed his entire salary for the year, which like, all right, Bob Iger makes dump trucks of money.
Yeah, I'm kind
He'll
of
be
like,
fine.
good. You probably already paid off your mortgage like 20 years ago.
Yeah,
whatever.
so effective April 5th, all VPs will have their salaries reduced by 20%, SVPs by 25%, EVPs and above will be 30%, and the new CEO, Bob Chapek, I think is his name, is taking a 50% reduction in his salary, and then Iger is going to completely forego his entire salary. But they did say that they will continue paying employees through April 18th, and that also means that obviously, I think they announced it yesterday, the day before, that the parks are indefinitely closed past their originally scheduled date, which I think was today. So don't get excited. Or it's today or tomorrow.
Yep.
Is there a 31st in this month?
30
March
days
31st?
have September, April, June, and November. All the rest
Whatever
have
it is.
31, except February is 28. Leap year is 1 year and 4, and then makes February 1 day more.
I'll say it's 30 days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that didn't answer the fucking question.
Well, no,
No.
the first is on Wednesday, so it's the third. So it's 31 days.
Yeah.
So yes, the park will be closed, and obviously, like, regardless of how big we think Disney is, every single company, organization, studio, whatever in the world is currently obviously suffering by this because every aspect of their business is shut.
And I want to hate on Bob Iger a little. I'd love to, but I was listening to the press conference from Mayor Garcetti yesterday, and he announced that Iger personally donated a couple $1 million to the city of Los Angeles to help with buying supplies and getting ready and everything like that. I'm like, shit.
I got nothing bad to say about the guy for right now.
Thank you. You're giving out your money as you should. So thank you.
I'm just like,
people,
good.
Yeah, yeah. People are like, New York is like shit. Is Cuomo doing a good job? God damn it! Like, they don't know who to be mad at.
I know,
anymore.
like, well, you can be mad at Trump. You can always be mad at Trump.
There's always a
But
default.
I'm bored. I'm so bored of being mad. When you're just like, I mean, of course I hate him. I fucking hate him, but like, I'm just like, yeah, I know I hate him. I'm bored of being mad at him.
I mean, I'm mad at the virus. I was thinking about printing it out and putting devil horns on it or something. Fangs. Evil eyes.
That works too.
Yeah.
That works too.
Go for it.
So a couple updates from a studio. You were talking about funds, relief funds.
Yeah.
So Warner Brothers did a press conference, I believe it was this morning, and they talked about how they're going to be donating or creating a $100 million fund that will go towards all their cast, crew, and production people who've been involved in all the productions that have shut down and completely affected everything that's been happening with the virus. And we know that they've had quite a few movies that are in production right now, two of the bigger ones being the Batman and the new Matrix movie that are coming out. So you can imagine with just those two movies alone how many hundreds of people are now out of work because of this and have no clue when these movies are going to resume. And we always talk about kind of the cascading effect of all these movies being pushed to later dates, not because necessarily movies from this year will be pushed, but because those movies need to restart production at some point, and we don't know when that's going to happen. So they're creating a fund for that, and they also talked about how their video gaming, anything that's related to their video gaming or gaming in general, has gone through the roof. All of their network television and any of their sort of like digital network television has also gone through the roof, and they're still working with their teams in tech and marketing and all that stuff to still launch HBO Max, their new streaming service, in May. But they're saying it's quite a technical hurdle because obviously all their tech people are mostly working from home when they can, and on top of that, the marketing strategies are going to have to change now because now everybody's at home, people are not working. So it's like, how do you entice people to now sign up for a new streaming service? And we talk a lot about how like Disney Plus, for example, is a streaming service that probably has not performed as well as they had hoped, despite the fact that they launched in Europe recently. You know, we're still kind of looking at the numbers. They did say 5 million downloads. But how do you guys think that a company like Warner Brothers, who's been around for almost 100 years now, do they have an opportunity to kind of get more people to join their service because people are more at home, or do you think it's going to be an uphill battle because of the fact that like it's another expense for people?
I mean, I have mixed feelings about that because I think entertainment, it's a very emotional experience. And it could just be one movie that you grew up loving and it will convince you to sign up for a service, you know? And, I mean, I think I would keep paying for Netflix. I mean, right now I'm just using Zach's because of Queer Eye. I love that TV show so much, you know? And sometimes it's just that one thing.
I don't know. I think it's an uphill battle. But go ahead, Jordan.
Oh, I kind of think like I have a Disney Plus thing. I got it with like I moved at the right time and I got like the free year for getting internet. And honestly, I haven't watched anything. I like tried to watch The Mandalorian. It wasn't really for me, but I think there's something about like, you know, I think a streaming service doesn't really succeed if it's like all one type of thing. I think the variety kind of helps. Like I think with the streaming service, you kind of need it to be a cheesecake factory if it's all kind of the same thing. I know that, you know, I think for most people, it's like hard to be like, I guess we gotta pay all the HBO kind of makes sense because there's like you're getting all of their original stuff, but you're also getting just tons of regular
Other movies. Yeah.
Well, and I think the one advantage that Warner Brothers has over Disney is a lot of people forget they have a lot of like subsidiary brands.
Yeah.
You know, they have Warner Brothers owns HBO, Warner Brothers owns the Criterion Channel, Warner Brothers owns Turner Classic Movies, Looney Tunes, the entire inventory of DC Comics.
Disney Plus does too, but they're not putting that shit on Disney Plus.
Right.
That's the difference.
They're taking stuff off.
Right, because the big thing that Warner Brothers has is that it's going to be built for everyone. It's not going to be directed just towards adults, just towards kids. The fact that they'll have the option of having a little bit of every flavor, I think, is what gives them an edge over Disney Plus. But I agree. I don't
think anyone will sign up. To be honest,
well, that's the big thing is the sign up.
There's just so much. Disney Plus hit and didn't hit hard enough. When you're competing against Netflix, which is kind of like the standard.
Yeah.
Hulu, which is convenient if you want to be able to do TV, and Amazon, which is like, well, it sucks, but we all have it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it sucks to use, but we all have it at least.
Yeah, exactly. I think and also with Amazon, it's like it's also the main internet shopping store.
Yeah,
like it's the main. Like I don't want to leave, but I need like a new fridge. Like whatever.
Right.
Just do it.
Right.
With Disney, you're right. Disney's not using all the. I'm literally watching The Muppet Show and not on Disney Plus because it isn't on there and they own it. What the hell?
I would love to hear from people in the chat room who are parents how important Disney Plus is, because if I was a parent of young children, Aristocats would be my third babysitter. You know, I would just put that damn movie on over and over and over again. The kids would love it. It would be fine.
Here's my thought on that. I know we've talked about it. Is I feel like everyone already owns the Disney movies because it was for so long. The only place you could have them was by getting them. and that went on for so long. I feel like most parents own the Disney movies.
Yeah.
Whereas Netflix Kids
Yeah.
has all the new stuff coming out on TV and everything else that's going on.
I think you'd be surprised how many people have thrown away their VHSs.
Well, VHSs.
Yeah.
I mean the movies that come out.
Yeah,
Like
Sure.
but you know how
DVDs,
everybody is now,
Blu-ray.
though. Everybody now has everything on digital.
Yeah.
So I think it's like, I think there's a balance. Like my best friend, he's got 2 kids, and he texts me every day. He's like, Disney Plus is saving my life because it's
Yeah.
keeping my kids occupied.
Yeah.
So I do think it's a case by case basis, but I think generally speaking, I think like Disney Plus, it's like Mandalorian was the thing that they really relied on, and I think that was kind of a mistake. I think they really should have front loaded it with more stuff from like Marvel.
Oh, they
and
definitely
everything,
should have
but-
Yeah.
front loaded.
Yeah. Zach, here's
They needed some more. If they had more like original content on there, like look, it's we have more shows. Like I think that would kind of entice, because I think because of all these streaming platforms, we're gonna be leaning more into. There's going to be too much stuff, and we're going to end up with like a cable format.
Yeah.
Again.
15 streaming networks that cost the same amount as 200 cable channels, and it's like, ooh, at what point do we draw the line there?
All right, last topic.
This is for you. The film rights to Tiger King have been acquired, so drop your casting ideas here.
Of course it was. The second that dropped, everyone knew. Everyone knew. But here's the thing. I don't think you can do it as a serious movie. I think it has to be funny, but then when you try to make it funny, the original concept is already so fucking bonkers that it's hard to make it funny.
Yeah.
It's already too crazy. Real life doesn't work like drama. When you make drama like that, it feels too crazy. Unless you go like some I Heart Huckabees route where you're like just leaning into the awkward fucking like, it depends on who directs it, I guess. But if they just try to make it a drama or some sort of murder mystery, it's
Akiva Schaffer.
Yeah. Like when they took the
Hot Rod Part 2.
when they took the diaper away from the diaper astronaut.
right.
Like you're taking the crazy out.
Right. Well, I mean, it's not. Real life is stranger than fiction.
Yeah.
And fiction has to hold by stronger rules sometimes to make sense. If you try to make this a serious movie, we won't be able to relate to the characters because they're fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
It's way stranger than anything you would see in fiction. I don't know. Maybe give it to David Lynch and let him do what he wants to do.
Oh
with
my sweet God.
it could work as a Lynch movie.
Oh my God.
It could.
Yeah.
It actually really could.
Yeah, it could definitely be in that vein. Or a John Waters.
I would love it.
Tiger King, Pink Flamingos.
Oh my Christ.
That is man, that's a really fast into production.
I knew it was going to happen.
No surprise.
Everybody
Yeah,
knew.
no
I mean, when you
surprise.
had Edward Norton and Dax Shepard arguing
who would make the
who
better
would be a better
version.
Tiger King.
Yeah.
It's like, somebody's going to pick this up immediately.
Good Lord.
But I couldn't
Wait, who do you think though? Dax or Edward?
Edward. He's got the right kind of crazy.
Yeah, he
I
would
think-
like starve himself for the role. He'd be ready.
Yeah, he'd be a
Yeah.
real asshole about it, but he'd probably do a better job.
Yeah, I forget who where the was if it was like a tweet or a quote, but someone I think, or it was Rob Pattinson who was like, people only method act to play assholes. No one's method acting to be a complete sweetheart.
Yep.
Whatever.
Oh yeah, they got something in them they want to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm pretending to be a dick.
Yeah. It's all for pretend. We know now for sure that Jared Leto is actually just a real swell guy.
Yeah.
Real swell
Just
guy.
likes to give real interesting presents and gifts to his cast members.
And he has a cult that follows him around and he disappears in the desert with him for weeks. But real swell guy.
Great
method
show
acting,
today, everybody.
method
Great
acting.
show.
Thank you so much for joining us, Jordan Gorsinio Hall. Make sure to check out 2 Minutes to Late Night. Where's the best place for people to find that?
You can find it. We have our YouTube channel is where everything is. It's just 2 Minutes to Late Night. Please follow us on Twitter at 2M2LN, on Instagram at 2 Minutes to Late Night. Please donate to our Patreon, because we have that's how we're paying all the artists that are going to be a part of this new series of videos. The first video is out right now. It's Mutoid Man and Chemist and Thou, and we're covering Dare to Be Stupid by Weird Al.
Cool.
so that's what it's gonna be like. We're gonna be working with like tons of other cool bands.
Cool.
Probably Baroness again. Donate to bands band camps because they're that's a good thing to do to help them. A lot of the labels there was like a special band camp day where labels took no money, but they're probably gonna keep doing that.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us, man. Thank you, everybody, for watching from home or wherever you are. Hopefully at home. Stay the fuck inside.
Wash your goddamn hands.
Wash your goddamn hands. Wash your damn hands. Do it right. Coming up next is Survival Skills with Malika. She's going to be cooking what today? What are you cooking today?
Oh, we're just going to blasphemize my old grandma's Polish recipe.
Okay.
A little bit of borscht, a little bit of bigos, a little bit of judek. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's going to be really interesting. And then we'll be coming back up with board games. Make sure to stay with us all day today. And don't forget, you can support at hyperrpg.live. New subscribers will get their name on the wall. Every $5 tip, you can tip out and say who you want on the wall as well. We did have one tip come in on Twitch today from Metasfatum that just said HyperKing ?
That's you.
I know. They're wanting to cast me in that already.
That's you.
I do need to up my wardrobe, though. I learned that immediately.
Oh, God.
He's got some sparkles.
This.
He's a walking Lisa Frank.
This camp social distance is going to be painful for Malika and I.
Oh, it already is.
Zach, get a bunch of like the anime button downs with like Super Saiyan hair all over them.
That's 10 years from now. That's 10. I got 10 more. I need to be in my mid-40s before we go that route.
Listen, the future, no one knows. So come on.
Just go ahead and adapt it. Yeah, get a Vegeta shirt. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us, Jordan. Stick around, everybody. Malika will be joining you in just a moment. Bye-bye.